Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season.
Y'all, I am so over these cats. Like, what is he doing? What are you doing? I just don't understand. I used to try to convince Bob that we should get a freaking cat and a dog. And watching these cats has just made me realize that that is not a good idea at all. It is actually the worst idea ever. This weather has it like so dark in my house that I'm literally in my filming room because I can't. Don't get me wrong, the weather is amazing. I think today we had a high of 60 degrees, which is basically snowing for Florida. So that was nice. But yeah, I just got home from work not too long ago. I kind of relaxed for a little while. I'm waiting for Bob to get here so I can see if he wants to run with me to Target to pick up what I ordered for Black Friday and possibly go to the Dollar Tree because I really want to do some like Christmas decorations and stuff. And I want to, of course, do DIY Christmas decorations. So that is on my to-do list for today. I also need to make dinner. So I'll probably do some shrimp, something, whatever, because I completely forgot to take something out for dinner this morning to thaw out. Would you like to go to the store with me?
Sure.
Really?
I'll go to the store with you.
I'm gonna make this for dinner.
I don't think I favored that the last time you had made it, but whatever.
With shrimp. We have to eat it. This is healthy. Say hi, Bob.
What up?
It's been, I posted 2 days and you weren't in any of my videos.
That's because I ain't been home yet. I wasn't home. You got home.
Can we get like different light bulbs that have white light instead of this horrible yellow light?
I mean, that's fine with me.
I want all the light to be like that.
You think that's a good light, though?
Yes.
Get down, Nina.
I do. Look at the difference if you stand right here. And if we stand over here. See how yellow I look?
Yeah, well, how'd you look over there?
Ooh, chilly. Look how freaking dark it is out here. I mean, I could drive if you grab my key.
We didn't grab no keys.
Wow, look at this. This looks like freaking portrait mode. Change of plans, y'all. So I actually did not go to the Dollar Tree. Bob decided to come with me and he has to go to men's ministry tonight at 7 o'clock. It was already like close to 6, so I wasn't going to have time to go to the Dollar Tree and all that stuff. But I did get my hand mixer from Target. This hand mixer was $10 on Black Friday. I got this. I got a crock pot for $10. And then I also got a George Foreman grill for, I think that one was $15. No, it couldn't have been $15. I don't know how much it was, but altogether I only paid like $27 for a hand mixer, crock pot, and a George Foreman grill. So, shout out to Target. Okay, so I have my butter in my skillet. And I season up some shrimp. And I'm just going to make some quick, garlicky, lemony, buttery shrimp. I'm going to make this rice packet that Bob doesn't like. But I think it's delicious and whatever, it's healthy. So we're going to eat that. And then I'm just going to throw some broccoli on the oven. But yeah, man, I was so excited about going to the Dollar Tree and getting my stuff, which I guess I can do, well, not tomorrow because we have Bible study tomorrow, but I could do it on Thursday, so that's no big deal. But marriage, man. Marriage is so hard sometimes. I'm just kidding. It's not hard because I couldn't go to the Dollar Tree, but it's hard because it's a lot of freaking adjusting. So obviously, before Bob and I got married, we didn't live together. So like we hung out on the weekends, fine, everything was cool. But when we finally got married, we moved in together, and that was like a huge adjustment for me. Like I was not used to having somebody in my space all the time. Like Bob and I can be opposites when it comes to, I don't know how to explain it, but just the way we are in relationships. Like he's more of the one that wants to be like, he wants to hang out with you. He wants to be around you all the time. I'm like, that's cool and all, but I need my space sometimes. So us living together, that, you know, there was an adjustment period for me. And I would say that I've adjusted nicely. So that's cool. But now that I've adjusted, it's like, obviously people change. You become involved in different things. You develop different, you know, hobbies, different likes, different things you want to try. So just in the span of this year, like towards the later half of our year being married, Bob started getting a lot more involved in church. So like Monday, he has a leadership class that he goes to with our pastor and like some other members of the church. Then the first Tuesday of the month, he has men's ministry. And then of course, Wednesdays, we go to Bible study. Thursdays, he usually has practice because he also plays the drums at church. And then it's like the weekend. But of course, Sunday, we go to church, and then it's also football season. So Sunday, he's watching football. So all that being said, it's like I've gotten used to being around him all the time. And like now he's busy a lot of the time. And that is obviously another area of adjustment that I need to make, because it's not like he's out here just picking his boogers or whatever. So we're doing this devotional. It's called Sexodus in the Bible app. I love the Bible app, obviously. And it's basically just about relationships. So not just marriages, but like if you're courting someone or if you're getting to know someone. And our devotional today was about love, you know, how the Bible describes love. Love is patient, love is kind, all that stuff that we heard about. So yeah, one of the things that I said was that I need to work on being less irritable, because sometimes I have these moods where it's just like, leave me alone. Like I'm not in the mood to play. I'm not in the mood to talk. I'm not in the mood to do anything. I just want to be left alone. And that's something that I need to work on. But I also said how one of the things that I do work on daily is not being resentful. So of course we, you know, talked about it after the devotional. It's like we don't have discussions after every single one, but the ones that like really pique our interest, we do try to discuss in person to like talk through it or whatever. And, you know, he was just like, well, what do you have to feel resentful about? And I just explained to him that, like, you're gone a lot. Like, you're my husband. I don't want you to be gone literally every day of the week, or like almost every day of the week. And then it's like the only time we have to really spend together is on the weekend, because if we try to do something during the week, it has to be like during a certain time period so we can get back home so that you can get to wherever you need to go. And that conversation just kind of expanded or whatever. But anyways, all that being said, we've been talking about making a video on our joint YouTube channel, Keeping Up with the Costins. Make sure you guys are subscribed. But we want to make a video about communication. Like one of the things that we really struggled with before we got married, or before we got engaged really, is not knowing how to communicate with each other. And that would just lead to so many arguments. It would lead to so many misunderstandings. And we have gotten way, way better at that. Obviously, there's still room for improvement. There's still times where like there's things that we're just not doing right, and that's okay. But communication is super important. Like I have to communicate the way that I'm feeling, even if I know he's not going to be happy about it, even if I know it might make him feel some type of way, because things like that need to be discussed, right? Imagine if I never told him, okay, this is how I feel when you're out all the time during the week. Eventually, over time, it's gonna, like, I'm gonna blow up on him. It's just inevitable. I'm holding in all these feelings, like, oh my gosh, she's never here, blah, 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 coming up with whatever story in my head because I haven't just talked to him about it to see, like, how he feels about the situation. Then I do become resentful. And, like, there's no room for resentment in a marriage. There's no room for resentment in love. Like, the Bible literally says love is not resentful. Sometimes you have to have difficult conversations, and it sucks. Like, it's uncomfortable. It makes you uneasy, all of that stuff. But when the conversation is over, if you guys communicated well, then both parties leave understanding how the other person feels. Both parties leave understanding what needs to happen now in order for us to ensure that these feelings get dealt with. And you just become a stronger couple. And I feel like people don't really talk about the downside, not the downside of marriage, that sounds kind of harsh, but people don't talk about the hard part of marriage. They're like, oh yeah, marriage is so great. Like, you have this person to love for the rest of your life, which is true. But in the midst of all that, it's not just like rainbows and unicorns every single day of your marriage. Like, there's going to be some tough stuff that you guys have to deal with. And, like, that just is what it is. But there's a way to deal with it. And if you do it the right way, like, it'll make you guys so much stronger. And that's something that we've learned. And we've come so far in our communication. We've come so far in our relationship that when stuff like this happens, it doesn't freak me out as much as it does before. And I've always been an open communicator. It's just that the way I used to communicate was very, like, aggressive. Like, this is how I feel. I'm right. You're wrong. End of story. That's it. I don't want to talk about it. Now I'm more open to, like, understanding the other person's perspective. Because one thing I learned is that we all view situations differently, and how I'm seeing the situation can be completely different from how he's seeing it. So, like, I can be, for example, not saying that this is how anybody feels, but I could be seeing the situation as he's neglecting me on purpose. He don't want to be here. Like, there's something I'm doing wrong as a wife to make him feel like he don't ever want to be home. And he could be seeing the situation as, I need to do this stuff so I could better myself to be a better husband to you. Like, those are two completely opposite things. And if we don't communicate to understand each other, those differences are never going to be brought to light. And understanding those differences is how you're going to figure out how to make it work. Like, you have to be willing to talk openly and honestly. I mean, especially in marriage, because, like, this is for life. I'm trying to do it one time and one time only. Like, this is going to be it for me. So if I don't learn how to do things the right way up front, like, we're going to be doomed. We just going to have to be miserable together for the rest of our life, because he is not going to divorce me. I have to remember to humble myself in the situation. Like, yes, I have feelings about what's going on, but I have to remember that he also has feelings about what's going on. And, like, I have to remember that we are not attacking each other, right? We are attacking the problem together. Like, this is a joint thing. He and I are one. We should be on the same side of the battle here. We're not battling each other, and I think that's probably one of the pieces that gets missed a lot. When people argue, they feel like they have to attack each other, and we used to attack each other too, and, like, that's not healthy. That's not a healthy thing to do. And I feel like once you realize what the issue is, it's easier to discuss that than to discuss what one person is doing wrong, what the other person is doing wrong. Like, okay, we know that we're not perfect. There's going to be things that we both need to work on. Yes, those things need to be discussed, but that's not the main issue. The main issue is this. So let's work together to figure out how we both can adjust to fix this. I feel like having tough conversations is going to prevent anything. It's going to prevent the worst from happening in a lot of situations. So that's that. My shrimp smells delicious. Let me show you guys what we're working with here. Yum. So, yeah. I told Bob this sometimes, like, I feel like we were brought together to just share with people what goes on in marriage and like help people through their own marriage. And I know that we've only been married a short time. It's like, what, a little over a year now. But I feel like even before we got married, like we have just learned so much about how to love people. Not even just in our marriage, like just how to love people, how to treat people. And that's stuff that is missing. Like, we can be so selfish. People can be so selfish, and you cannot do that in a relationship. You cannot do that in a marriage. Like, it's not just about you. It's not just about the other person. There's a bigger picture here, and like, if y'all both can try to see what that bigger picture is together, you'll be so much better off. And I don't want people to like watch our videos and be like, oh, they have like this perfect relationship. Heck no, absolutely not. Sometimes I want to rip his head off, and sometimes he want to rip my head off. But like, we're human. What do you expect? Nothing is going to be perfect in this life, and like, you can't expect things to be perfect because nobody is perfect. It's never going to be perfect, and in doing that, you are setting yourself up for failure. And who wants to fail? Not I. So, yeah. All that being said, I'm still itching to get my Christmas decorations up. I can't do that right now because I have these cats here, and I'm terrified. Like, we have our Christmas tree that has been sitting in our living room since the day after Thanksgiving, because I usually like to put a Christmas tree up the day after Thanksgiving. It's what we did last year. It's what I wanted to do this year. But with the cats here, there's just like, I'm not risking it because I want to put everything up once and once only. I usually make these packets in a microwave, but I kind of want to try putting it on the stove. Take my broccoli off the heat because I don't want it to become too soft. A drop of butter and a drop of water in here.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one.
Dinner is served. Quinoa and brown rice, some broccoli, some yummy lemon garlic shrimp. Yum. Super fast too. So I'm about to clean up this mess. I'm not really that hungry right now. Wow, I look so bright. I'm not really that hungry right now. I might just wait for Bob to get home to eat dinner. But yeah, this is it for today, guys. Today was a pretty chill day. I will be back tomorrow with something more exciting, hopefully.